So if you're new here, I'm Dr. Cherit. In fact, I'm Dr. Cherit, and on this channel, I talk about all things pregnancy, family planning, preconception, conception, fertility, and all those women, female reproductive teas. So if you want to know more about stuff like that, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get updates on those videos. So now, as you can see from the title, it's going to be a story time. I'll be sharing my first trimester experience. I don't know how this is looking. This is me sharing my first trimester experience from the angle of a doctor. And I know you'd want to hear more about it, so ensure that you stick to this video. So, I just completed, or when I was pregnant, I was in the mandatory 1-year housemanship or internship program. So it happened that I was in obstetrics and gynecology when I was in my first trimester. So I think maybe 6 days after I got into that department, where I spent 3 months, I confirmed that I was pregnant. It wasn't, in fact, it wasn't easy. The first time I was on call, which is night duty, where you get to work from 4 p.m. to the following day and continue working. Once it's 8 a.m., you continue your work for that day. Then after that call, I noticed that I had this unique discharge. But before that call, I had already tested for pregnancy and it was negative. That was like 4 days before I missed my period. I was so eager and I didn't want to wait till I missed my period before checking. So I tested on a Tuesday, 4 days before my period, and it was negative. So I was on weekend call that week, Saturday, Sunday, and I was wearing a particular ox blood scrub. That scrub just became awfully tight, and that was the only time I wore that scrub all through the pregnancy because I was getting bigger. Like, as I confirmed the pregnancy, I started running in weight. So when I got home from that weekend call, I think on Sunday morning, coming home on Monday morning after the call, I took the pregnancy test. But before that, I had this discharge that was thick and white. I was like, where is this thing coming from? I've never experienced this kind of discharge before. So prior to that also, I was having cramps, like crazy menstrual cramps. I don't usually experience menstrual cramps, but in that particular month of April, it was just, I was like, this is what people who have menstrual cramps go through. It was terrible. So that was how I started suspecting that, okay, maybe there's already implantation ongoing. But that was trying to play on my mind that, oh, it's your period trying to come, you still see blood this month again as always. But I kept rejecting those thoughts that as I'm feeling these cramps, that's my baby that is moving. Even though I was aware that your baby cannot start moving from day one now. But I just told myself, I was telling myself that no, that's a lie. I'm not going to see my period this month again. And that pain I'm feeling, that's my baby moving in there. This was before I confirmed pregnancy. So when I confirmed it, after that, my weekend call, on Monday morning, I took the test and I saw a faint line. So I took a video. If I have those clips, I will put them on the screen, the pictures, the video. Then I showed it to my husband. So I just sent him a screenshot WhatsApp of a cute baby shirt that wrote, "You're about to be a daddy." So he was so happy, he was excited. So that was how that particular one went. So going through the symptoms now. Some of the crazy symptoms I had was nausea and vomiting. I was always nauseous. Nausea. Like, nausea would literally wake me up. I would wake up vomiting. In my sleep, I would wake up and start throwing up. That was how bad it was. Then, at a point, I had to take sick leave. I had to excuse myself from duty for about 5 days. So I think that was after another weekend call of Saturday, Sunday. I didn't come back to work on Monday. I just went straight to take my sick leave there because I wasn't actually feeling fine that period. I was having malaria. After we confirmed the malaria, I was given this excuse duty. So I stayed at home. That was where, I think that was 8 weeks then. That was when, no, 7 weeks. That was when the crazy symptoms started for me. Because all along, I was just normal. I was eating normal. I was sleeping. I was like, is this how it is to be? Oh, it's all nice and rosy until 7 weeks when I was so tired. Fatigue was one of my symptoms, nausea, vomiting. Then sometimes my body would get hot, it would normalize again. Then, having to go to work, you're a doctor, you have a lot of patients to see, and nobody wants to. Then you can't really go around telling people that you're pregnant. Or so I was just pushing myself to do a lot of work at the hospital. But I had to open up to one of my colleagues, a female, that okay, this is it. I think that I was 5 weeks pregnant. So she supported. In fact, the people that were in my team at that point in time, I bless God for them because they were my gift. I don't know how I've been able to survive that first trimester without them. They literally took the burden off me. They would tell me to just go and rest, let them do my work. So they really helped me. They made it easier for me to go through my obstetrics and gynecology posting in my first trimester. So there was sometimes I remember one particular day where I was having headache, like terrible headache, that I was feeling dizzy. So we're doing ward rounds, and I was the one presenting my patients. Immediately I finished presenting that patient, I just told the senior HR that, ma, my eyes are turning me, I'm having crazy headache. And she just said, don't worry, go, 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 go. So that was how I was excused from the ward rounds that day, and I went home to relax. So another incident that is coming to my mind was where I almost, in fact, let's just say I fainted, but near fainted, yeah, near faint. I was again presenting a patient to a consultant. We're by the patient bedside, and next thing, I was using my phone to document after presenting. Then I started feeling dizzy. I wasn't hearing what the man was saying anymore, and I knew that something is happening. So when I couldn't hold it again, I just said, "Sir, I'm feeling dizzy." And the next thing I saw was I was going down. I was going down. Then I began to hear the consultant saying, take the phone from her hand. Take the phone from her hand. Hold her, hold her, hold her. That was how somebody grabbed me. And that person took the phone from my hand and they dragged me like that to the nurse's decks, where they took my blood pressure, checked my blood sugar, and then I was excused for duty that day. That, just go. Because you want to come and save life does not mean that your life should be taken. So that was how I was excused from this. And again, a wonderful colleague of mine took over my responsibilities for that day. This is just a little of my, it's just me sharing my first trimester experience with stories. So how was I able to cope? Man, I was doing a lot of research. I had to research a lot, browse a lot of things, watch a lot of videos on how to cope, and study myself also, and asking questions from other people who have gone ahead. So I have a community, antenatal community, or a pregnancy support group, where if I had that kind of group, I would have, if I wouldn't have been as stressed as how I was, because I was stressing over symptoms that were normal. You understand? So if I had that kind of pregnancy support group, which I have, and if you want to join us, check the description box of this video. So that was how I was able to cope using those points I just mentioned now. I studied myself. So one of the things that I studied about myself with my nausea and vomiting was that if I wait till I get hungry, my nausea is bad. But if I eat before I get hungry, I don't get that nausea. So that was how I was coping with it. Even when my husband came around, he later understood my pattern, and then we both ensured, or he ensured most times, that there's something that I can eat in the midnight, so that he doesn't hear stories of, oh, she's vomiting. And so yeah, that's exactly how I was able to cope with my first trimester. So how are you able to cope with your first trimester? Are there other questions? Are there questions that you have for me? Share with me in the comment section. If you want me to share how I was able to cope with my second trimester, you can also let me know, and I would be sure to make that video. So for now, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Please, before I leave, subscribe to my channel, to my YouTube channel, so that we can get this community glowing. Thank you.